Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong, and I wanted to show you this completed journal that was a custom order from a very nice lady in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And again, if anybody in that area is interested in being put in contact with this lady about possibly receiving a pack like this, you can reach out to me and I will try to facilitate communication between you. At any rate, I was asked to make just a fun journal from a mystery pack of materials. So this, I think, is the fourth video. I went ahead and finished up the journal. It was getting pretty chunky. I love the way it looks. I love the way it turned out. So I wanted to go ahead and show you. I made a tassel to go on the outside out of all the different yarns and strings, and even the scraps from the bandana. So sometimes I will just take a safety pin and put it through the actual spine near the top. It's not that hard to do. You just have to be careful not to get stuck. So this will come off. All you have to do is, open the safety pin, and you can close that back up and just leave it there. The charms, of course, or all these words, they're actually on the cords here, and there are knots tied. I always try to tie them so that you can lay them up above the journal if you're going to work in it, and that way they're not in the way. But let's put that tassel back on. I think it's really pretty, and that's just a little gear and a large bead, and I used wire to hold everything together. I went ahead and put a tie on it to keep it closed, especially since it is getting a little chunky. I repaired the area near the top that felt a little loose, and I put some stitches here where you could see the cardboard from the folder. These are just stitched in place at equal heights on each side, and I did put some tacky glue underneath the edges so that it wouldn't unravel. It's really full, but I love it so much. So in the front pocket, we have a heavy tag that was here, and I put some of the yarn in that. One of the things that was in the packet was a few pieces of photo paper. It was a very shiny paper, like photo paper. So I went ahead and printed photos on all of those. And this is one of those photos. I think this is absolutely beautiful. Look at the smocking on that dress. And just the flowers, they're both so beautiful. The original photo was pretty damaged, but I think that's just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, we have that. I took a piece of the felt that had the pumpkins and the leaves, and then sewed a piece of distressed paper. I took some of the paper from the pack and stained it. So there's another piece of that, and that's just sitting here in the front. But I took a guinea feather that my mom had sent me. Well, my stepdad, I call him Poppy. So Poppy sent me a lot of guinea feathers, and I really appreciate him doing that. So I wrote guinea feather from Melba's farm. Melba's my mother's name. And I sewed that closed so that it just keeps the feather in there. I know you should be careful with things like that because of germs. Not that you need to worry about this, but I usually try to close them up somehow. I love that it still has the sticker on it that says teacher. This had a card in it that was especially for teachers. And honestly, I don't know if this charm was in the pack or not. This was on the desk, so I went ahead and attached that with a bulb pin. I couldn't remember if that was in the original pack. And this is just a tag I made from some of the distressed paper. I love the idea that someone had that you could use that to keep a pen in. So we'll put these back in here. You have the pocket in the front for lots of ephemera. And let's just flip through and look at some of the things. I did do some decorating on quite a few of the pages. The kit had some large felt or craft foam stickers, so I put those in. There's a little drawing. I did a wax seal last night next to that, and we just have trim. I came back through and added washi tape and some stamping. We have this little pocket with the face drawn on it, and I stamped "You're My Cup of Cocoa," and we have the heart, the nest, the bird. You've seen some of this before. And one of the cards in the pack said, "Can't touch this," and it was a greeting card that you could open, but I just cut the words off and glued them along this edge, and then put some scribbles around that with a watercolor pencil. There's one of the images that I printed on the photo paper, and there's a tiny little ruffle from what was left over of the bandana. On this one, I put a little masking tape with to cover up that edge from the paper. Someone mentioned using strips of paper that were cut, either with a tearing ruler or cut with scissors, and I love that idea. There's that was done with a stencil. And then here's another flip out page. This tape is pretty stiff. It's 2 layers of the paper tape. So I feel like as you work with that, it's going to get easier to open and close. And when I send this back, so I'm going to package this up today. If it feels too bulky, you can easily tear pages out. And the way I do that, instead of just ripping at the top, because you're going to lose what's on the other side of that, you can lay some kind of tearing ruler in here and tear it so that you have enough left to keep it in, but to take down on the bulk some. And if there are pages where you don't want the whole thing, say you didn't want this entire sheet of paper, it's got something on it on this side, but you could tear the whole thing out if you want to. So you can always take the bulk down if the journal feels too full. Now this one, that's where I had punched out the circle, and I drew a little face and put it underneath the circle and glued an entire sheet of paper on this side so that you can journal over here, and then you have the cute little face behind the window. So that doesn't come out. And that's the edge that we punched. You can see here is where I tore a page out. So just moving on, lots of beautiful things that were in the kit. That's the doily I used to get the heart design on the other page. And now my friend Amy at Birdie, the Recycled Hippie Chick, she did a waterfall envelope on her channel, and just really inspired me to do one here with some of these things. So there's nothing in here. There's a pocket though that you can put things in, and there's another pocket, and then in this pocket we've got one of the tags that was in the kit, and here I've put a little tag and just drew a little bird there that you can see through the totally missed the pocket there, that you can see through that little window. And then you can slide something in here as well. So I just left some of this blank so that whoever gets it can work in it. That's a little image from the photographs that I printed. Another sticker, and there's some alcohol ink on the metallic page. Another pretty sticker, another ruffle, and I love the strings here. You can put tape over that if you want to. There's some stamping. And this is another page where I had a cutout. So I just put one of the pictures behind it, and the page that's next to it, I cut it down to fit and just glued that whole thing together. There's the circle that we punched out of the earlier page. And here we have some paper. It ended up getting kind of stained. Yeah, I didn't do the whole thing. There is some grunginess in this journal though. And in here, there's a few sheets of paper that had been in the kit that I just paper clipped together and put back into this pocket so that the recipient can use these. I was running out of space to just keep putting in things in a permanent way. I glued this ribbon down that says "Live Simply." That was in the kit. And used one of the stickers there. It says "For You." There's some tickets there that are just paper clipped in. And then this page, I did glue another sheet of paper to kind of cover up the uneven edge. And this is a little uneven too. I kind of like that eclectic look. That was cut out of a greeting card. And then here, I took a few sheets of the paper that had been in the kit and made just a little notepad by sewing across the top, and I used some of the trim that was in there. This envelope was in the kit. I love how these polka dots kind of match with this ribbon that comes right after. I did tape this envelope in with masking tape, and that butterfly was in the kit. There's another ruffle and just more beautiful paper. Again, feel free to take the bulk down if you need to. Now I'm gonna cut across the top of this, and I'll tell you why. It's taller than the pages on the inside, and I don't have a problem with that, except the paper is just tearing all to pieces. So let's just go ahead and take care of that. Then we have another shiny piece of paper, and there's one of the photos that I printed. It's just there with a paper clip, and I used this glimmer mist again to spray one of the doilies and get that shape here. And then this envelope is glued into place, and I also put some masking tape so that it would open and close easier. What was happening is that the very bottom of that envelope was wanting to flip up, and it made the page hard to turn. And then in here, there's some paper that was stained. That was in the kit. I tea stained that. And then on the outside, you can see where I stamped vintage text message. Another ruffle, beautiful paper that was in the kit. It is okay to play. And that was a card that was in the kit. Just, there's that one of those tiny little pieces of paper we punched out. Another sticker, another beautiful ruffle, and here's the pocket. I didn't fill everything up. I didn't want to just completely overdo it. There's a napkin that was decoupaged into place, another pocket with the bandana, and that's a tag that I made, again with Live Simply. And that little flower was in the pack. It was already on a brad, so I put that there. And then here, these are a couple of little like little sheets from a notepad that were in the pack. So I put them under this like a clip. I think that's a Tim Holtz clip. And then this is the bus, the little card that was in the kit. I stained that and just put it under a large paper clip. And then there's another beautiful image that was printed on the photo paper. And then here in this back pocket, so I went ahead and put back in some of the stickers that were in the kit, a couple of shopping lists. These were some time cards. I love those. You could turn those into tags or write on those. And then this envelope that I made for ephemera, I cut up the pictures that I had printed out and just put all those in here if anybody wants to work in this journal with these particular photographs. So, you know, I just thought I would pass these back since I printed them on the photo paper that was in here. And it looks like, I'm noticing as we go through, it looks like my color cartridge is starting to run low. But in a way, it just adds to the vintage feel of these. So lots of little pictures there for you to use. And let's go ahead and put these back in here. The only thing I have left to do is sew my birdsong stamp here on the back. And I'm going to do that before I put this in the mail. But this is it. And to the person who requested this, I truly appreciate your kindness in reaching out and asking me to do this, and also your grace in allowing me time, you know, to do this and think about it and just kind of play with the materials. I'm going to package this up for you today, and I will send you the tracking number. And I hope everybody enjoyed this little 4-part series. This was a lot of fun to make, and I will be back soon with some new stuff. Okay, bye for now.